When we crochet double crochets or trebles, you know that there's quite a bit of a gap in the middle of the stitch. And in some circumstances that is not ideal for the result you want to have. For example, you might want to have a tighter fabric of your crochet. For instance, if you are working on a baby blanket, you don't want the baby's toes and fingers to come through the fabric. And both with double crochets and trebles, a linked stitch can be an answer to this problem. So let's see how they go. Let's first look at linked double crochet using the American crochet term. It looks slightly different to the normal one, and also there is a bigger difference between the sides when you crochet back and forth. It adds this here bar of yarn that joins two stitches. It has less holes, but it's still not as stiff as single crochets would be if you were to change to those. So let's start making these. I'm chaining 2 for turning, and the first double crochet is just normal in the very first stitch. But then what you do next, look at this here bar. You insert the hook under it, take a yarn over and make a stitch. Then you insert the hook in the next stitch. So now you have 3 loops on the hook, and now you finish that like any double crochet. The difference is that this here is joining 2 stitches in the middle, linking them in the middle. I'll do it again. Take this here and yarn through that, and then go into the next stitch and finish it off like any double crochet. That's the only difference, so you just keep going like that there. Then we can look at trebles. The idea is exactly the same, but because the stitches are higher, it looks slightly different, because now you get 2 of these linking bars. Although I have also seen that also in trebles people have only linked 1. I prefer when it's 2. This makes a very sturdy piece of crochet, and again the difference between the front and back is clearly seen if you crochet back and forth. You can do this equally well in the round. I'll first show it in the middle of a row, and then we look at how we start a row. You go under this bar just like in double crochets, pull up a loop and leave it on the hook. And then you go straight away to the next one, again leave it, and then where your next stitch needs to go. So now we have 4, and then we finish just like any treble, always through 2 loops. The way we leave stitches on the hook actually has similarities with Tunisian crochet. I'll do another one. Here, next one, and into the next stitch, and then finish like any treble. So you continue like that, but then we'll look at how you start a row. I'll crochet this to the end and then show how I start the next one. Here I am at the end of the row, and now I chain 4 and turn. And now we can't just start by making a treble here, because that would make a big, I think I had that somewhere. Yeah, in the very first one I left it like that, and that leaves a big gap, which is very noticeable, so you can't do that. Instead, we need to start picking the stitches already here in that there chain. I prefer sort of turning the chain a little bit and then inserting the hook into the second one from the hook and getting the yarn, and then in the next one also like that there, and then going into that there very first stitch and going through them just as we were in there. So that gives you a start that also doesn't have any holes. It links that. to those there. And then you continue just as we were doing earlier. What different uses can you think of for these stitches? Where would you use them in your own work? And also check out these here videos where we are crocheting 2 or 3 rows of mesh at the same time. Those stitches have similarities to these here linked ones that we were doing today. Till next time!